All right, how are y'all doing today? Well, I just come outside, long day of work. Come outside to get a cigarette and to talk about a couple things that I seen today. I watched that Anthony Blinken, Secretary of State, giving a lot of excuses for Biden, giving a lot of excuses for himself and how they handled the Afghani situation over there that happened, where we lost, 13 soldiers and injured about 20 or 30 of our soldiers and killed a lot of Afghans. He brought up, he was like, we inherited a deal, but we didn't inherit a plan. That's stupid. He had plenty of time to come up with a plan and get on the ball with it. It's like me. When I have something to do, I don't put it off for tomorrow or the next day or the next day. If I got something to do, I start to take care of it right then and get the ball rolling. And he's a liar because Trump had it all figured out. And you know that. But, when are we going to hold these people accountable? Because, it's like they get on there and they get in front of, the Congress or whatever, and they testify what they say and this and that, and it comes out that they're flat liars or they play stupid. I mean, we have no way of making these people accountable for what they do, their actions, and their actions are affecting people. It's almost like a story from years ago when I was 20 years old. I worked in a phosphate mine, and I come in that night, and the chief operator told me, he says, Philip, he said, I'd go back there and check all the stuff. He said, because the guy you relieved, he been sleeping all night. And I was kind of pissed off about that, So I go back there and I check stuff, and there was some stuff that he left for me to do that he didn't take care of on his shift. So I kind of bitched about it a little bit, but I went back there and got everything straight, and I went back in there and was talking to him, and he says, when you come on to shift, and you take over the reins of or the job, it's now your baby. No matter what the other guy did, when you step in there, it's time for you to take care of whatever you're coming into. He said, then it's yours. You have to own it, and you have to take care of it, no matter what. And as a young man, I kind of didn't understand that, but over time and as you get older, you understand what he's talking about. And it's the same way with this. He wants to blame Trump for the making the deal with the Taliban to keep everybody safe. But as soon as Biden got in there, he should have known this. He should have known this and was getting a plan up to do it the best way. Now we know that the way he did it was totally backwards and totally wrong. Now, the people that want to believe that he didn't have any other options, that's a lie. There's always an option. There's always the best way to do it. And pulling your troops out first and then leaving your citizens there, that's the dumbest thing you could come up with. And everybody knows that. Everybody out there, y'all know that. I'm just telling you something you already know. So when are we going to hold these people accountable for what they do? And that's my biggest question. That's what I sit there and wonder about, is when people are caught in lies that work for us. They work for us. When are we going to be holding them accountable? And what goes on? I mean, is this going to be like, Hillary Clinton with Benghazi? Is it just going to be swept under the rug? They like to sweep it under the rug, a lot of stuff, and but that's the biggest question I have. And also, when's the American people going to get tired of dealing with the clowns that are in there with our country, that's running our country? That's the biggest question I wonder, and I wonder what it's going to take for people to stand up and to fight for this country. Um, but I would also say to a lot of the patriots out there, you got a lot of guys that I talk to all around different channels, different people I talk to, and they're gun ho. Oh, I'm ready. I got guns, and I'm ready for war. Well, you know what? I don't want war. I want to do it the right way. I don't want to have to do war. War is not good for either side or whatever. It's not good, and I don't want to have to do it that way. I'd rather do it peacefully, and we take care of these people that's in office, and we get them out of there, and we get people in there that really cares and knows what the hell they're doing, and really gives a damn about our country. But I don't know which way it will go. There'll come a time maybe that people will have to stand up, and it'll be a time to strike or to do whatever you're going to do. But it kind of reminds me of my dad and me when we went fishing, and I was learning how to fish. My dad was an outdoorsman guy. He loved to fish. He loved to hunt. And I remember as a kid, he started me off with a king pole with a cork on it and a hook and a little sinker. And we was brim fishing. Down here in Florida, we do a lot of brim fishing and bass fishing. So we're fishing off the bank, and the bobber starts getting a little boom, 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 boom. So I was so anxious as a kid that I just yanked it. I try to get him. And every time I did it, I miss him. And my dad looked over there and he laughed at me, and he'd say, "Son, you gotta wait on them." He said, "You gotta wait on them." He said, "Wait till they get that cork and they start moving it fast, moving it, bumping it, moving it, and then they sink it. As soon as that cork goes under the water, you pick up on them, you got them. But if you do it before then, when they're just nibbling on it, you won't get them." And that's the way I kind of look at what's going on here with the patriots and the people. Is right now they're nibbling. They're nibbling on the bobber. They're nibbling on the bobber. So if we pull it, we're premature. We won't catch them. I believe we need to at the right time. You'll know when it's the right time. Things have got to happen. Things have to get to a certain depth or a certain get so bad that you'll have to do something. And that's not saying there's going to be violence. That's going to make people get up and protest, or go to the Capitol and protest, or go to your local capital in your state. It could be that too. So it's not talking about violence, but violence, it could one day go to that. Don't know. I don't want it to go to that. I want us to be able to fix it the calm way and a safe way. I've never been in war, but I've watched a lot of documentaries, and I've got a lot of friends that's been in wars, and it's not good. It's not good. It's not something you want to do. It's not something I don't want to have to go take somebody's life. I don't want to have to shoot somebody or hurt somebody. I don't want to. I try to be good to everybody, and I'm here to protect my family. So, I mean, of course, if somebody tries to come in my house or hurt my family, then yeah, I will protect them no matter what it takes. But we need to understand that these people that's in office and that we got around here, they're doing a lot of bad stuff, and I'm starting to see, and I'm starting to think too. I'm starting to think that people are opening their eyes. More and more each day. I talk to people as I'm out at work, or stop at a store, or have a conversation with somebody. I'm starting to hear more and more. People say, Trump was right. And starting to, Biden's screwing everything up. With everything that Biden's doing, everybody's going to be affected. Whether you're a Republican or Democrat, it doesn't matter. It's affecting you. When you go buy gas, when you go buy food, when you go buy clothes, gold, Go buy something right now. Go buy something right now. Go to the grocery store and take you $100 and see how much you get for $100. And then back a year or two ago, you could buy a lot more than you can now. So it's affecting. It's going to affect everybody, and hopefully, when it starts affecting, the average Democrat's pocketbook, when he goes to buy groceries or buy stuff for his kids or shoes or anything, that he'll maybe that'll wake him up, and he'll say, you know what, man, I got a lot less money in my bank and a lot less money in my pocketbook because I'm having to buy, $4 or $5 an hour gallon gas, and it's costing me a lot more to live. It's inflation. Think about it. You go to buy gas. When Trump was in office, gas was cheap, so you buy a gallon of gas and it was a certain price. That for that same gas, you're paying more for it. That's inflation. That's where the price went, because we got a guy in there that's totally against, exactly what he said. He's such a liar. I mean, look what he said about fracking whenever Trump called him out on TV about that. He says, "Oh, I'm not against fracking. First thing he does is sign a bunch of things and hurts the pipeline, shuts the pipeline down. Men lost jobs. When people lose jobs, they lose their stuff. They lose their cars. They lose their houses, and they have families. It's sad to know that that our country has got hurt by this guy so much. And it ain't just Joe Biden, y'all. It's not. We can't blame it all on them. Nancy Pelosi, $200 million for a golf course. That's what she wants. $200 million for a golf course. And I heard him today talking about, us still sending aid over there, food and water for the people of Afghanistan over there. I'm thinking to myself, I think we left enough damn money for you, and we left enough equipment for you. You ain't getting no more. And the American people, we ought to be pissed. We ought to be pissed about the money that was left over there. Pallets of money. You know what that money could have did for regular people? Could have did for veterans, or did for the black people that lives in the hood. I know a lot of my friends that are, they're black, and they vote Democrat. They have their whole life. But they really need to look at it and say, we've been voting Democrat for this many years. What has the Democrats did for us? What have they did for the black people and the poor people? What have they did for you? Do your research. Do your history on Democrats. Do your history on Joe Biden. Watch some videos that Joe Biden did 20 or 25 years ago. Watch some videos on that. And see if you're still a Democrat. See if you still believe what Biden believes. I don't think you will be. But people need to wake up, and people need to get off the Democrat side. It's just like over there, Larry Elder. He's an awesome dude. Larry Elder, if I could vote for him, I would. And I hope he gets California. A lot of people says, well, that's California. Let them have it. Let them have California. No, I don't believe that. That's our California. I ain't never been there. Probably will never go there. But that's part of the United States. And I hope Larry Elder wipes the floor with their ass. I hope he gets it. I hope they get that Newsom out of there. He's trying to use Joe Biden to back him up, to get people to vote for him. He's trying to use Joe Biden. That is stupid. He's stupid for using Joe Biden, because that's like the worst case scenario he could use. If anything, that guy should be like cancer, and everybody's trying to kick him away. Kamala Harris is kicking away from him. You don't hardly see her around Joe Biden because some of the decisions he's made. The mosquitoes are tearing me up. That's why I keep moving, y'all. If you want to know why I'm moving, down here in Florida, we got mosquitoes that'll pick you up and fly you away like pterodactyls. But Larry Elder is a Christian man. He's a black man, and he's a conservative, but he tells the truth. And I know a lot of blacks call him Coon, Uncle Tom. They call him everything. That guy's a good guy. He's a real good guy. If you research him, you'll see he's a really good guy, and he could do something for California. But that's kind of up to the people in California. I know a lot of people in California are, Democrats. Signs that are all messed up, y'all. Smoking cigarettes, bad. But I tell you what, Larry Elder would be a good person for him. That Jenner, I don't know how in the hell he, she, or whatever run as a Republican, because she ain't got none of the Republican beliefs like we have, But anybody can run. Anybody can run, and maybe they'll vote her in there. I don't know, her, him. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I would want Larry Elder in there, and I hope he wins. And I support him. That's who I support. And the thing about it is the truth is the truth, no matter what. Anybody can sit here and tell lies and tell this or that. The truth is the truth, no matter what. But we got so much going on, and everybody needs to pay attention to this. If you've noticed, something to come out in the news, and 2 days later you'll never hear a damn thing about it. It's just like that drone attack over there, where they said they drone attacked one of the Al Qaeda Ks over there, and they took him out. I seen it when it come on the news, on like a news flash thing, breaking story. They showed about 5 minutes of that, and it went off. Never heard a damn thing about it. It's like they jump from one subject to another. It's almost like they're playing, and to me, it's like a shell game. Like in New York City, you go over there and they got the shells and they got the little bean, and you basically bet them that you can tell them which one the shell is, and they move the shells around. That's what they're doing to us, y'all. They're trying to scramble our brains and trying to deflect us from seeing what's going on. To forget about stuff like the border, to forget about certain things is what they're doing. And right now, I've noticed the morale. And I notice it when I go in stores and I go into places, the morale of people, because of everything we've went through this couple of years, the morale of people is crap. It really is. It's it's like we can't have fun. It's like we can't relax. And there's some people out there, they're living their best life, and they're nothing's affecting them, They're living normal life. Well, not for me, because I worry about the country. And, like I was telling my friend Donald, if I didn't love this country, it wouldn't bother me. It bothers me because I care so much. I care so much about this country. When I was a kid and young man, I never dealt with politics, y'all. I never did. I worked every day. I played sports. I did martial arts. I boxed. I did physical stuff, I never had time and really paid attention to politics. But I tell you what, I blame myself. Not just everybody out there. I blame myself that I didn't pay attention to what we were putting in office. Now that I'm older, I'm 41 years old. I'll be 42 in December. Now, that really, to me, is a real big thing for me. So, I'd say out there, everybody, keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open out there. Still enjoy life. We don't know when our lives are done with, and we don't know when it will be the end. Because I can guarantee you, if you read Revelations and you read what's going on now, some stuff is coming true. And it won't be long. It won't be long. So if you're not saved, you ain't right with the Lord, you don't have a relationship, you don't pray to Him, you don't communicate with the Lord and get yourself right and ask for forgiveness, you need to. There's a lot of ways you can do that. You can go to a church. You can go on Pastor Steve's thing on Facebook. He has church on there and it's live. You know, it's Faith Chapel Ministry. If you go on Facebook, and you'll see it, and you'll see a picture of Pastor Steve. He is on there. And watch that. He's got some good stuff that he preaches and stuff. And the man, you can feel the power. Now, when that man prays and he speaks the word of God, you can feel it in you. It's like electricity. You can feel it. But just make sure you have a good relationship with God. That's the number one thing, is to make sure you're right with the man upstairs. That's the number one thing to do first. I would say, like, the second thing to do is to make sure that you got everything you need for something happens. You know, rice, beans, a bug out kit. You know, if you got guns, buy you some ammo, buy you some good quality knives and stuff. I also got to show you all this. Now, I'm not no expert survivalist. I'm not Bear Grylls. I'm not Cody Lundy. I'm none of them guys, you know. But I want to show you a couple things that I got that I brought out today to kind of show you, and to kind of show people my opinion on certain stuff. And this might help when it comes to the wives out there buying stuff for their husbands. Because I'll tell you this, I've had people buy me knives, and I got it for Christmas. And don't get me wrong, I love my Christmas gifts. You know, if you get me something, that's fine. But if you buy your husband or your boyfriend a knife, buy him a good quality knife. Don't buy him a cheap throwaway knife. A throwaway knife, you'll use it one time or it'll break. It's junk. But let me show you all this. Let me grab this right here, and we'll walk around here. And I'll show you something that's pretty cool. I haven't used it yet. I just got it in. But I want to try it out. Now, you might want to check with your wildlife commission, like Florida's. I'll have to check to make sure I can use this thing, because I want to use it. But I got this in, and I think it's pretty cool. I'd like to try it out. Check that out. You see that? You see that right there? It's like an umbrella. It's like an umbrella. It's like an umbrella, but it's got like holes in it. So you just put a little bit of a dead frog or some kind of bait in there. And what they'll do is, the fish will actually swim. This will all go in the water. The fish will swim through here and they can't get out. So then you trap them, and then it's got a rope on it where you pull it up out of the water. This whole thing goes in the water. And then when you pull it out, your fish get trapped in there, and you can catch all different kind of fish and stuff. But I thought that was pretty neat to buy, and I want to try it out. And when it collapses, it's almost like an umbrella. It's like an umbrella, so you can put it in a little sheath, and you can put it in your bug out bag, or you put it under your seat of your car. But that's pretty cool, because it'll catch fish for you. So if you get in a situation where you need to fish or you need some food, you just find you some critters. You know, smash them up, put some guts in there or whatever, let the fish come in and you catch them. So it's kind of doing your work for you. You ain't having to fish, you're fishing right there. Also too, okay, you see this knife? See this knife right here? Now this is one of them knives you get like when you go to Daytona Beach. This is a Daytona Beach one. It's got P on it for my name. Now it's a little cheap knife, okay? And that's something like a souvenir knife. This knife is made in China, and it's real flimsy, and it will break very easily, okay? So these are the type of knives, you don't want to bring this type of knife out into a situation where you're going to have to survive, because that's going to last you like 2 seconds, okay? Now, this knife, I got this knife at, I think at Lowe's or Home Depot, but I like it because it's pretty durable, and I do like their tools.